spending time with you, I doubt my value. I feel less beautiful because I've spent time with you. These are all signs that the relationship and the situations we're in are not good. Hey y'all, it's Chimdi. So I asked you all what questions you had for me, any topics, any things that were on your spirit, and a bunch of y'all answered. And this question was from Alexis, and she asked me, how do we let friendships end naturally? I've made a video on my channel about friendship breakups because I've had the situation where I've intentionally ended a relationship with a friend and someone has done the same for me. But it's very different when you are sort of at a point in your relationship where you're saying, okay, this is it. Can't go any further. There's usually been like a clear breach of trust or safety or something that says, you know, I actually am really not aligned with you anymore, so I need to go. Versus when as we just grow and change and grow apart and our values change and the things we like and the things that we want to do, as these things evolve and change, we just naturally find ourselves no longer spending time and investing in the relationships that were once really important to us. And I think what's really beautiful is that just because the relationship ends doesn't mean that the love has ended. Like, the love can still be there, and you can understand simultaneously that you don't want to spend time with that person the same way, you don't want to pour into the relationship in the same way. I think where a question comes in, because I think we've all experienced that naturally, where we've just found ourselves spending time doing different things, and so it's just happened to end and neither person feels that call or that push to reach out. I think we've all experienced that. So I think, Alexis, for you to have a question about letting it end naturally speaks to there's still being some tension, some friction, some kind of unresolved hurt or pain that's making it difficult for you to just let the friendship go. And I think that's really the question that you have to sort of face, is what part of this relationship is really uncomfortable for me to look at? What is it attached to in my own experience? What feelings, what ideas, what beliefs is looking at this aspect of my relationship bringing up such that it's hard for me to just naturally let it go? When I was talking to my friend about my friendship breakup, another friend, she gave me this framework that I found really helpful. She said, the first question to ask yourself is, what about the situation is hard? What is it about the situation you're in that you're finding to be so difficult? And the second question was, how are you contributing to making it hard? Because that's a big thing I'm learning in my journey, is just how important personal responsibility is in all of our decisions in life and all the circumstances that we find ourselves in and all the relationships that we find ourselves in. Because ultimately, if there's something in us that's causing us to be attracted and to resonate with certain kinds of people or situations, it's not really about the external person or the external circumstance. If we haven't resolved it inside of ourselves, we're gonna just keep attracting similar people and similar circumstances, because I believe our outside world is trying to mirror to us what's happening inside of us. And so if we don't like what we're seeing on the outside, we can look inside and say, oh, what part of me was even resonating with that? And so with that framework, and in my situation, I found that what was hard about the situation was a few things. One was that at the time, and this is something that has been a journey for me and I've gotten really good at it, I'm very grateful, I really valued more what the other person thought and the other person's feelings more than my own feelings. Because growing up, I had learned that my safety, my love, my security, all of that really relied on the other person, the other people in my life being okay. And so I valued that more than me being okay, because that was what I thought would allow me to survive. And it did help me to survive, right? I'm a big believer that all of our systems are intelligent. They help us get to where we are. And when we're resourced enough, that's when we start to make changes. And so for me, I found myself in relationships where I really didn't always feel safe being in my full expression. I didn't really necessarily feel safe speaking up for myself when situations happened that didn't feel good to me, that didn't feel aligned to me. Even things like wanting to go to certain events and doing certain things, I just found myself not feeling comfortable speaking out because it wasn't something I'd practiced, and in the past it hadn't been safe, right? And so as a result, I found myself in relationships, in jobs, living in certain places, being in certain groups, having certain experiences where I knew in my heart it wasn't aligned because it didn't feel good. Like, that's another thing, is that we can trust our intuition, we can trust our feelings, they're there for a reason. And so we're in a situation where we're like, this doesn't feel good. This feels really bad. Like, I feel, after hanging out with you, I feel drained. After hanging out with you, I need to nap for 15 hours to like get my energy back. After spending time with you, I doubt my value. I feel less beautiful because I've spent time with you. These are are all signs that the relationship and the situations we're in are not good. One thing I remember talking about with like the quitting my job series of videos I did was how I would find myself smoking before doing my job because it stressed me out so much, and that was the only outlet I had at the time to really process that stress, because I didn't have the capacity then to really deal with the truth of like, yeah girl, you don't want to be here. You're not living in alignment. It's easier for you to just get high and do this job than to really sit with the harder feelings of you dishonoring yourself and not choosing yourself and not loving yourself. And so for right now, that is the path that you have to make it through the day. And so we all have these different ways where it's easier to just go along with this person's invitation, go along to this event, go along with the whole relationship, with the whole friendship, with the whole partnership, because that's easier than actually taking a moment and pausing and saying, hold on, this doesn't feel good. Why is it that I'm staying in a situation that doesn't feel good? Why is it that I'm allowing things that don't feel good to be in my presence? Why don't I love and value and think of myself highly enough that I'm saying my friends should be people who I trust. They should be people that I feel safe around. They should be people that I feel fully like invited to express myself around. There should be people who celebrate me, not tolerate me. They celebrate and they love me. I made a new friend recently, and when we first started talking, she would constantly affirm to me, Chimdi, you are easy to love. You are easy to love. And then later she said, she said like, that's not something I say all the time. And now I see why I was being called to say that to you. Because at the time I was engaged with another person who made me really doubt that, who really made me feel like, wow, I have so much more work to do. I have so much more healing to do. The way I'm showing up naturally is offensive. It's critical. It's judgmental. Like I, as I am, need to do more because I'm not good enough. It wasn't that conscious. It was like a rumbling in my energy and in my feeling, like I was getting sick, like stuff like that, where my body was telling me this situation you're in is not for you. This doesn't serve you. But I wasn't ready to face the truth of that. And I feel so grateful to this friend because she kept affirming like, no girl, you are easy to love. Like you are a joy to be around. I had a couple friends who were affirming, who were like, they were pouring it on extra thick. It's like they knew. I feel so grateful to them. Oh wow, I'm getting emotional. Yeah, I feel really grateful to them because they knew in that moment that I really needed that support. And I think that is what is possible in our friendships and in our relationships, are people who really see you, who really understand you, who really support you. And when you get a taste of those kinds of friendships, you start having a higher bar for the people who are in your life. And so I really just want to affirm for you that you deserve friends that you want to be around, who want to be around you, who you celebrate and they celebrate you, who you are excited to spend time with. Your conversations and interactions, they are fulfilling and they're meaningful, and you feel uplifted, you feel grateful, and you feel happy and blessed to be their friend, and they feel the same to be your friend. That is possible for you. And if you find yourself engaging with people who don't make you feel that way, it is important that you recognize that you do deserve more and you can leave that situation. And it may be hard, and that's where I think resourcing is so important. So that could mean if you have other friends who you know you can really trust and you feel really safe with, like spending more time with them and spending more time of that energy. It could be professional support. I'm in this healing program that's its 2-year program. They have been an incredible container for me as I've been working through different stuff, reading books, going out in nature, listening to music you love, whatever helps you co-regulate your nervous system so that you have more resourcing and more inner strength to say, hey, I deserve a lot. This relationship isn't giving me that. And so I'm going to honor and respect myself and leave. And I know it's easier to say these things than to do these things, but you can do these things and it's worth it, because to have people around you who love you so much and who you really love, it is worth it, and you deserve to feel that. So I hope this is helpful to you, Alexis. I'm pouring love on you. I know that for you to be having this question in your energy means that there's probably a situation or two that's really tough for you right now. So I'm just sending you a lot of love, and I know you're gonna make it through this, and I appreciate you asking the question to me. Everyone else, and Alexis as well, if you want to ask me a one-on-one question, you can book some time in my Calendly in the description box. Patreon people, thank you so much for your support, and I'll see the rest of y'all in the next video. Bye.